Hey, Darren Waller with the Associated Press. Last year, you led the team in receiving. You got a few years under your belt. Henry comes in for his second season. Just can you maybe talk about maybe the growing pains he's endured and how you see him emerging in his second season and sort of maybe establishing a bigger role this year?
Yeah, I feel like Henry. It's tough when you're in this game and he has so many expectations of him from outside people, the media, anybody that's watching football. They have high expectations for him just for where he got drafted. And I feel like for him, if he can just get to a place where he just expects of himself and goes out there and performs just to, prove to himself that he is the player that he is now and the player that he's going to become, I feel like that will take, a lot of weight off of his shoulders and allow him to just go out there and have fun. I used to worry about a whole lot of things, but if you make the game as simple as possible and just focus on your craft and just having fun with your teammates, you can do a lot of great things. And I see Henry doing that, and he's light out there. He has good personality, and I'm excited about what I see from him.
Hey Darren, it's Tashawn Reed from The Athletic. You're coming off another year where you played at a high level. As a player, once you string together a couple seasons like that, how do you go about sort of critiquing your game and looking for ways to improve when you're, kind of achieving everything at an elite level? Is it getting any more difficult to kind of identify ways to continue to improve?
It's always a challenge, especially at this point. Naturally, as a human being, if you do things at a fairly high level for a good amount of time, you want to naturally kind of kick your feet back and kind of coast a little bit. But for me, it's just like doing the opposite. It's watching even more tape of anybody that I can get my eyes and hands on, and just look at any little thing that I can to improve my game, the smallest details. It's really just diving in deeper than I ever have before and realizing that, if I want to continue to have a successful career, the steps to doing that are infinite, and there's never a chance for me to kind of just kick back and just, cruise on autopilot. I always have to make sure that, the same work ethic I came in with the team when they first claimed me, I have to continue to approach the game with that sense of urgency.
Darren, this is Hondo Carpenter from Sports Illustrated. Obviously, you're a team leader, so my question is from a leadership role. Can you talk about all the new guys, how much it is a blessing to have OTAs so you guys can build that camaraderie as a team that you didn't get last year, please?
It's always very important to be just together as a team and just be around each other and to get to know each other, laugh, joke, work hard, sweat with each other. It's a very valuable experience. This April to June is where you lay a foundation for those long runs that go into February. This time is so valuable, especially to young players. I'm glad that the rookies this year don't have to be, at home on laptops in rooms by themselves trying to learn, playbooks with great volume. They can be here, be around coaches, and really feed off of the environment. And I feel like that's much more, suited for learning and learning fast. So I'm glad that everybody's here, glad that everybody's, invested and excited about, what this season can be for us. And I feel like we're off to a great start.
Hey Darren, Vinny with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. I know the tight end room looks a little bit different this year, but in particular, Foster Moreau, I know he was coming off an injury last year, still kind of coming back from that. From your perspective, how does he look so far during OTAs, and how do you feel like he's going to be able to be implemented in what you guys are doing?
Foster looks, his explosiveness just continues to increase every time. We come back together as a team, just from working with him in the off season, and, he's working hard just like with me, like he's even pushing me with the way that he works and with the, attention to detail that he's been working with this off season, and it's carrying over out here. He looks a lot more fluid, and it's just continuing on that path to being the player that I know that he can be, and he can be, an extremely vital component to this offense. And I can't wait to see him, expand the routes that he runs, and the way that the offensive staff continues to challenge him, because you can never have too many weapons, and I feel like Foster can really show the world who he's capable of being this season, and can continue to build on top of that. So I'm really excited for him.
Hey Darren, obviously you guys invested a lot on the defense in the offseason and throughout the draft and everything. Just curious, any guys on defense, new guys that have kind of popped to you thus far?
Yeah, definitely. Casey Hayward, of course, he just brings that leadership, that veteran presence, being in that system for a while, being a multi-time Pro Bowler. When he's out there and he's speaking, guys listen. And, it's just great to have him here. I'm very impressed by the rookies. Trevon, just he has a very calm nature about him. He doesn't really get too flustered or, all over the place or, out of control. He seems very dialed in and on top of what he's doing. It's great to have Carl Joseph back. Me and him are already back to getting extra, one-on-one reps together after practice, and just his demeanor in walkthroughs and drills and everything, just how serious he is about the game of football. I feel like that, creates a sense of urgency on the defensive side. So, those are guys that I'm noticing, but, all the rookies, I can see why they wanted to have them here, and things that they're already doing that are making me like, okay, like these guys can really contribute. And I'm excited about everybody they've added.
Hey, Darren, this is Vic. Can this offense be better than it was last year, and why?
Yes, I believe so. I believe that especially just looking at first at Henry and Brian and them taking the steps toward being the players that we all know that they can be. Two very talented young guys that just need to continue to grind and continue to be on their processes in order to really see the success that they want to see. I feel like the offensive line is really going to be good this year. I know that a lot of guys have shifted, but just seeing how Andre James is taking control of the room and Colton and how those guys are setting a high standard, and with Denzel being here, Richie leading the way going into year 17, I believe. So I really believe in the offensive line and what they're building, and I believe that we get Foster really comes into his own and shows who he can be, and you got guys like John Brown, Willie. You get Kenyon out there who's going to be incredibly explosive. So I like what we have this year.
Darren Levi from Raiders.com. Over this offseason, you've been doing a lot of community stuff around Las Vegas, as well as spreading mental health awareness with your new teammate, Solomon Thomas. What are some things that you've done this offseason to stay mentally sharp going into the 2021 season?
For me, I feel like that giving back component really keeps me sharp, because I know that, that's the greatest feeling that I can feel is to, help somebody else or to be impactful in somebody else's community or sphere of influence. So I really want to do that. Just stay on top of my routine, meditating, praying, writing in my journal, still, going to meetings, still, just doing what I've been doing, keeping me built up. And because without those things, my career doesn't sustain. I have to continue to dance with what brought me here. And that's taking care of myself internally, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And then, you get the best version of me on the football field when I'm doing those things. So I just stay on top of my daily routines.
Hey, Darren, Heidi Fang, Las Vegas Review Journal. I'm just wondering what kind of different dynamic your new tight end coach brings, being that you had worked with Frank Smith over so many years.
Yeah, Austin King, it's been great working with him so far. Him being an NFL offensive lineman, he's been teaching us a lot of new tricks as far as just little details as far as run game, as far as pass setting. Those things have been great. And he's been an offensive coordinator before, so he's looking up and creating folders of ideas of routes that we can run and implement in different play action schemes. So he's a very, very, very smart guy. And then just learning stuff from him just off of life, man. It's really been a pleasure to have him here thus far, and I'm excited for the journey going forward with him.
Hey, Darren, Paul Gutierrez here from ESPN. You spoke earlier about not wanting to coast going forward. You go to the Pro Bowl last year. You set the franchise record for catches in the season. How hard or how easy is it to not coast going forward?
I feel like it's hard not to coast, or what I'm saying, because it's like that's just human nature. We do things for a while, and naturally we just want to be like, okay, like I got this figured out. But it's really realizing that this game isn't gonna give me anything. I'm not entitled to anything just because I've put a couple years together. I still have to like people say, rent is due every day. I still have to show up and work just as hard and just to put myself in positions, because I still can't control the results at the end of the day. I still can't control a lot of things, but I can always control how my effort, my preparation, and my attitude. And those are the things I try to control. And me being somebody that the team wants to look to as a leader with this franchise, I want to display qualities that are admirable and that young players can look at and see, like, okay, he's really doing it. He's really walking the walk. He's not just talking it or, resting on his laurels.
Darren, it's Ron Petrov from Channel 8 in Vegas. Off topic here with this question. A little bit, the final question. Vegas Golden Knights, you paying attention to what they're doing in the playoffs? You plan on watching tonight's playoff game?
Yeah, I'm checking them out. They definitely got their work cut out for them with Colorado, but I feel like it's going to be a great series, probably one that's going to go 7 games. And I definitely plan on tuning in tonight and, maybe catching another home game once they come back to Vegas.
Hey, Darren, Vic, did I see you at a concert last week? Was that your first concert in Vegas?
Yeah, so that was a foundation fundraiser event I had, and then with that, I was also one of the performing acts for the evening. I performed a few of my songs in addition to some bands that were performing there. So it was a fundraising event for my foundation, and I was just a part of the entertainment that night.